National Center of Nuclear Sciences and Technology, and the President of Women in Nuclear Tunisia. And I will be moderating this event. So today, it's with great pleasure and honor that we welcome our estimated speakers. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation and taking the time to join us. A big thanks to our panelists and speakers who will be contributing to this event by sharing their works on how nuclear technology can be used for environmental remediation, water resource management, and control pollution. As I said before, just a few notes before we get started. Please note that your microphone is off. Jacqueline?
Yes?
Please note that your microphone is off.
Moi, je suis anglophone.
Veuillez,
je suis francophone. Je suis francophone.
Veuillez
je préfère répondre aux questions en français.
Veuillez à ce que votre micro soit éteint, s'il vous plaît. Éteignez votre microphone, s'il vous plaît. Merci. With this, I will give the floor to Professor Daou Mosbah, the Scientific Director at the Arab Atomic Energy Agency. He will be speaking on behalf of Professor Selim Hamdi, the Director of Arab Atomic Energy Agency, who is unfortunately unable to attend our webinar today. So, Professor Daou, the floor is yours.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Eid Mubarak to all. On behalf of Arab Atomic Energy Agency and on behalf of Professor Salim Hamdi, who is now performing Hajj, he conveying his regards and support to all of you. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining our webinar today. We are honored to have esteemed speakers, Professor Shaukat Abdulrazak, Director of IAEA Technical Cooperation African Division, Professor Amr Al-Haj, Sayyid Muhammad, Chairman of Egyptian Atomic Energy Authority, Ms. Dominique Mouillot, President of Women in Nuclear Global, and Professor Suhair Koraa, President of Women in Nuclear Africa. We sincerely thank all the panelists from Tunis, Tunisia, Egypt, Jordan, Senegal, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Yemen for accepting our invitation and for their dedicated commitment to sharing their work on nuclear technology for environmental radiation and protection. The Arab Atomic Energy Agency plays a pivotal role in coordinating scientific endeavors among Arab countries for the peaceful applications of atomic energy. Arab Atomic Energy Agency committed to fostering social and economic development by empowering all members of society, including women, in the field of nuclear science and technology. Today's webinar represents a notable advancement thanks to the dedicated efforts of Professor Amira Zouak, President of Women in Nuclear in Tunisia, who together with Arab Atomic Energy Agency promoting participation of women in the nuclear sector. I wish to extend my sincere appreciation for this initiative and for the success of today's event. With Arab Atomic Energy Agency support, we are committed to fostering and advancing women career in the nuclear sciences and technologies. This commitment not only strengthened diversity and equality, but also leverage the rich talent pool for innovation and progress in the African region. Arab Atomic Energy Agency and International Atomic Energy Agency share the same goals and aspiration in utilizing the atomic energy in the well-being of their member states. Here, I recall the level of cooperation between IAEA with its different departments and sectors and Arab Atomic Energy Agency. This cooperation reaches its climax and culminated by signing the historic Memorandum of Understanding 4 years ago. The Memorandum of Understanding is of a great significance as it is the very first time that IAEA has signed a comprehensive document of cooperation with IAEA in the area of strengthening the infrastructure of a nuclear power program and the nuclear safety, security, EPR and applications at the same time. Finally, I assure that the women is the center of Arab Atomic Energy Agency activity. We reiterate our support and encouragement. Wish you all the success. Thank you very much. The floor is yours, Amira.
Thank you so much, Professor Daw, for your welcoming remarks. We really appreciated the support and the encouragement from the Arab Atomic Energy Agency in promoting diversity and innovation in nuclear sciences across the Arab and African region. So now, it's with great pleasure to give the floor to Professor Shawkat Abdul Razak, the Director for the Division of Africa, the International Atomic Energy Agency. Professor Shawkat is a strong advocate for the inclusion of women in Africa's nuclear sector, recognize their crucial role as a key contribution to the continent's development. Professor Shawkat, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Professor Amira. Assalamu alaikum and Eid Mubarak to all of you. Let me first and foremost thank you for inviting me, and together with Professor Daw, the representative of the Director General of the Arab Atomic Energy Agency. I also want to recognize the presence of eminent speakers, my brother and a friend, I hope he's here, Professor Amr Ali Said Muhammad, who is the chair of the Egyptian Atomic Energy Authority, my good friend, Ms. Dominic, who is the president of WIN Global, my friend, president of Women in Nuclear Africa, all speakers who are going to speak after the opening sessions. I've seen quite a number of eminent speakers from different parts of Africa. It's really an honor for me this morning to be given this opportunity just to make some very brief remark. And let me start by echoing what the agency is doing, promoting atoms for peace and development. We are providing services, we are providing support now to, alhamdulillah, 49 African member states, and the family is always growing. As Professor Daw said, we are also forging partnership, collaboration, and cooperation with very important entities like the Arab Atomic Energy, because we believe that there is a very common understanding between us and these entities as well. We also have a practical arrangement with the WIN Global as well, because we believe that we have to ensure that women are not just on the menu, but they are also on the table. They are also able to make their contributions in the peaceful uses of nuclear science and technology. So at this point, I really want to commend the Arab Atomic Energy Authority. I would like to commend the president of WIN Tunisia, Professor Amira, for organizing this webinar. These webinars are very critical because they are able to give us an opportunity that we can be able to share information, we can be able to dialogue, we can be able to discuss on pertinent issues. And I think today we are discussing on a very important subject, the subject of nuclear technology for environmental remediation and protection. We all know the effect of the climate change and how it has impacted negatively in quite a number of African countries. And the focus here is really, for me, is on Africa. But the issues of the climate, global warming is actually affecting the entire globe as well. And strategies are put in place under the direction of the Director General DG Grossi. You've seen quite a number of initiatives, including the Atom for Net Zero as well, looking at the nuclear technology for mitigation and adaptation. This is very important. As we discuss about environmental remediation and protection, we would like to inform everybody here that we have the necessary tools, we have the technology, we have the techniques that we can be able to provide to our member states that they can be able to use very handy. If I may pick one of the very important area on the environmental aspect is water. And water is life. Without water, there is no life. Quite a number of African countries are actually affected negatively with this very, what I call, scarce commodity. In such a way that we know the numbers, more than 30% of the population in Africa, which translates to almost 400 million people, have no access to clean drinking or clean drinking tap water as well. Quite a number of our farms in Africa are also affected because of a high level of evaporation and lack of that water. And that's why we say that we can be able to use, for example, the isotope hydrology to be able to understand what is going on at the ground water level, what is going on at that level, to understand in terms of data points, to understand the replenishment points, to understand the level of pollution as well, so that we can manage this scarce resource in a better way. And in all this, women play a very a significant role, because we know, if you look at the agricultural sector, more than 40% of the workers or the people who are doing these day-to-day activities are women. And when you look at the effect that is going to have on women, it's really huge as well. If you look at the level of pollution that we have, including pollution not just in the environmental atmospheric pollution, but also in our homes. There are countries in sub-Saharan Africa, up to today, people are still using paraffin, people are still using firewood, and all these have got negative impact as far as the health of women and in particular girls are concerned, because these are the people who would be able to spend a lot of time in the kitchen cooking and so on and so forth. And that's why we are saying that we can be able to monitor the environmental sort of quality, air quality. We can also be able to put the necessary tools if you're looking at the energy aspect with the energy planning, and quite a number of countries as well. Now they would like to embark on nuclear power program, including the small modular reactors as you go into the future. It is unacceptable that you have cases where girls have got to walk more than 3 hours to go and fetch water. I know quite a number of sub-Saharan Africa that this is really sort of challenge. So the data is there, the information is there, and we trust and believe we need to provide that opportunity for women so that they can be on the decision-making level as well. And it's because of this the Director General here at the IEA has got this big vision of ensuring gender parity at the senior level by 2025, making sure that no woman will be able to be denied an opportunity for training by initiating the Marie Sklodowska-Curie Fellowship. And also the Lays Mekna program for the middle career women as well. All these are very important. But coming back to this webinar before I close, it is very important we continue to provide with the support. And I am glad that you are able to invite us also to be able to share with you. With the leadership of WIN in Africa, now we have almost 20 national chapters of women in nuclear in Africa, and the numbers is growing. My target, together with Professor Sohar and the leadership in WIN Global as well, is to see in the next few years each and every country in Africa will have a national chapter, because I believe through them we can be able to have more mentorship program. Through them we can be able to have specific webinars on specific topics. Through them we can be able to have a specific group to look at the specific theme under nuclear science and technology. So today is really to congratulate you, Professor Amira and the rest of the team from the Arab Atomic Energy Authority, for bringing us together so that we can be able to share this knowledge and be able to understand what is going on. And I would like to continue to assure you that of our continued support from the Division of Africa. I have my focal point, Amal, who is doing an excellent job and linking up with you, and I want to thank her as well. And my colleagues also in the Division for Africa, quite a number of program management officers have joined this webinar, and other colleagues as well, standing ready to provide that support of collaboration, cooperation, to enhance the capacity and capability of women in areas of nuclear science and technology. Shukran. Professor Amira, I pass it over now to you. Back to you.
Yeah, Professor.
Well, I would like
Amira, your microphone.
Sorry, everyone. I have some trouble with my connection. Thank you so much, Professor Shaukat, for your welcoming remarks and for your continuous support for women in nuclear sectors. So your dedication and your effort for the African division at the EIA are very much appreciated. Thank you so much. So we just be informed that Professor Amr El-Hajj, the chairman of the Egyptian Atomic Energy Authority, will be enabled to attend our webinar due to some internet issues he's facing, and he extend sincere apologize for this inconvenience. We now we have the privilege to introduce Professor Suhir Korea, the president of Women in Nuclear Africa. And she is also professor in biology at the Egyptian Atomic Energy Authority. Her leadership and commitment made the African regional chapters one of the active chapters with the WIN Global organization. So, Professor Suhir, the floor is yours.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. I'm very happy to be with you today. I would like to thank Professor Misbah Daw from the Arab Atomic Energy Authority for hosting this important webinar on nuclear techniques for environmental monitoring and remediation, and for supporting this webinar. The Arab Atomic Energy Authority has long tradition for supporting Arab countries in the scientific nuclear field. It is great to involve African scientists in this webinar. Actually, 10 of the Arab countries, which are full and observers countries of the Arab League, are located in Africa. I would like to thank also Professor Shawkat Abdel Razzaq, Director of the IEA Technical Cooperation African Division, who's under his leadership, Professor Shawkat, Win Africa has flourished, and he supported a lot of Win Africa webinars. And under his leadership, Win Africa board members were able to meet for the first time last November in 2023. I would like to convey the apology of Professor Amr El-Haj Ali. Unfortunately, we are in vacation now in Egypt, and he's at a resort where the internet is not working well. Also, I managed to contact Madame Dominique Demelou, President of Win Global, and she told me that she will try to connect, but there is problems with her connection. Although Madame Dominique is not with us, I would like to thank Madame Dominique, who's under her presidentship, Win Africa reached a lot of success. And I ought to say that during her presidentship, Win Global achieved a prosperous era full with a lot of activities and partnerships. And Dominique is a real role model for a successful woman. Last but not least, I would like to thank my friend Professor Amira Zawad, President of Win Tunisia, who helped me in organize this webinar. Actually, she had most of the job, and she is one of the active members of Win Africa. I also would like to take this opportunity to thank a lot of my board members of Win Africa. They are very active. They work with me, and I hope I will not forget someone. We have Professor Sangdom Kumba, President of Win Senegal, Professor Mary Badou, President of Win Ghana, Ogi Nakagawa, President of Win Nigeria, Professor Laila Al-Husseini, President of Win Niger, Madame Jeanette Osaku, President of Democratic Republic of Congo, Winnie Nutbayi, Professor Winnie Nutbayi, President of Win Kenya, and a lot more. They all are active in all the Win Africa projects we are carrying out now. Actually, the global warming is now continuing to grow up in Africa as faster a rate than the world average, despite that 1.3 billion people from 54 African countries are responsible for less than 4% of the global greenhouse gas. Environmental disasters can happen anywhere in the world. But in Africa, consequences of floods and droughts are extremely deleterious. Fortunately, environmental projects using nuclear techniques has been carried out, like water and nutrient use efficiency and enhancement of soil fertility and productivity for climate agriculture, including in dry climates, especially at the Great Sahara Desert. The IEA has supported the expansion of environmental monitoring programs across the continent by the use of isotopic nuclear techniques. Also, isotopic nuclear techniques helps in monitoring marine pollution, helping to access the ocean's acidification in the Western Indian Ocean, and supporting the expansion of environmental monitoring programs. The environment is our responsibility, and it is our responsibility for the next generation to keep it as clean and as adequate as possible. I think that now we are applying nuclear techniques for water salination, applying nuclear techniques for power production became an inevitable solution for African sustainable development. And thank you.
Thank you, Professor Suhair, for interesting speech and for the opening remarks and for the contribution and also the successful of Women Africa regional chapters. So before we move to our panelists, and due to the other commitment of Professor Shaukat, so I would like to ask all participants to turn on their camera and in order to take a photo, and don't forget to smile, please. Please turn on your camera in order to take a photo, very beautiful photo. Thank you. 1 minute. Okay. There are about, okay. Turn on your camera. Yeah. Thank you so much. So now, thank you, Professor Shaukat. Thank you, Professor Dominic. So now we move to our speakers, and our first speakers for today is Professor Sana Ben Ismail, who is an associate professor at the National Institute of Marine Sciences and Technology in Tunisia, with a PhD in physical oceanography. She has focused on
Tu n'es pas dérangé.
Can you turn off your micro, please? Yes. So Professor Sana Ben Ismail has a vast experience in marine sciences, focusing on climate change, oceanographic data, and marine biogeochemistry. She is the coordinator of many research projects, among them control marine plastic pollution using radiation technology with the International Atomic Energy Agency. Professor Sana will give a presentation on nuclear technology for controlling marine plastic pollution, Nutec Plastic Africa. Professor Sana, the floor is yours. You can share your presentation.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. Emira, thank you for inviting me. I will try to share my screen. Are you able to?
We cannot see it yet. We can just apply F1, try F1.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
So I don't know. Now I see that it's shared, but perhaps it's the connection.
Can you try the F1?
F1?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry for that.
No.
It's coming?
No, it's not coming.
No. Okay.
Can you send to me your presentation in order to share it? Please.
Yeah, but I have a problem with the PC now. It's blocked. I will.
Can you stop sharing?
Yeah, I will stop sharing. Yeah.
Okay. We can move to the second speakers, and after that we give you.
Yes, I prefer.
So please stop sharing.
You could make it, Emira, because my PC is blocked. I don't know what happened.
I cannot. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It works now. We can see your presentation.
Ah, really?
Yes.
Okay.
So just put it in full screen.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I present myself. I'm Sana bin Ismail. I'm a marine scientist at the Marine Environment Laboratory at the National Institute of Marine Science and Technologies in Tunisia. I'm glad to be with you today, and thank again Emira and all the team of Arab Atomic Energy and the International Atomic Energy Agency for allowing us these wonderful webinars to share our experience. So I will present today a New Tech Plastics is an initiative of the agency, named Nuclear Technology of Controlling Plastic Pollution. And here I will represent more the New Tech Plastic Africa, as I'm a national counterpart on behalf of Tunisia in this initiative. So to start, we would speak about this global environmental crisis, which is the plastic pollution. And some facts that we need to all know that this plastic is one of the great inventions of the 20th century. Since 1950, approximately 9 billion tons of plastic have been produced, but only 9% is recycled. By 2020, the global mass of plastic produced exceeds the biomass of all terrestrial and marine animals combined. Every year, problem increases. The annual plastic production is always rising. So normally now it's 353 million tons in 2022. Now I'm not... but it will be more, so it's equivalent to the weight of the entire human population. About 14 million tons of plastic waste end up in the ocean each year. And projections indicate that by 2050, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish. And here I share with you a graph that shows the increase of the global crisis of the plastic pollution and the production of plastic since 1950 to 2018. So now the global, the United Nations reports and all the agency working on environmental estimates that every minute we dump a truckload of 10 tons of plastic waste in the sea. So the sea is really impacted by this pollution. And it's increased all the coastal ecosystems and as we are human beings using more the coastal parts of the ocean, so these coastal areas becomes most vulnerable. So for that reason, since 2016, we start at the National Institute of Marine Science to deal with this problem. And here I show that this data produced by also the agency in the Eastern Tropical Pacific about the amount of microplastic in 2100, so in the next century. And the amounts are going from 1 to thirds, so it's very important to deal with this problematics. So for the biota, it was, and for human beings, many research work showed that microplastics are present in water, in fish, and in different species of fish, and could arrive at our plates by different way. And we are on the Mediterranean, so the problem is most amplified because it's a small area and accumulated zone, because it faces many impacts. Here I show some results of the modeling, and we show here that on Tunisia, in the north of Tunisia, there is accumulation of microplastic coming from Italy, France, and from the Oriental Mediterranean. So as I say, at UNSTM, we conduct many research programs since 2016 to understand the amount of microplastic pollution, to set protocols of monitoring in the sea and on the biota. So I coordinate many projects, but also other projects are coordinated by colleagues. This project is Anti-Seed 1 and 2 that starts since 2017 and ends in 2021. And it was working on the indicator on the marine turtle that are also very impacted by the plastic pollution. Also cleaning litter by developing and applying innovative methods in European Sea, Claim H2020 project, that we work on the Gulf of Gabes, and I am the principal investigator of this project. So we publish a paper on the marine plastic pollution in the Gulf of Gabes by 2022, and we compare with other zones in the Mediterranean Sea by modeling. After common project, it's a coastal management and monitoring network for fighting against marine litter in the Mediterranean, comes and starts in 2019 until March 2023. And I am also coordinator of this project, and we could do more than 16 monitoring campaign along Tunisian coast, and especially in Monastir area, and we generate a collection of more than 55,000 marine debris in our coastal area. Many papers are published about this work, and we conduct after a project on the fostering of the transfer of knowledge to combat marine waste in the Mediterranean by integrating ecosystem-based management with integrated coastal zone management. And it was focused on the training and the transfer of knowledge, and also some assessment and to prevention and mitigation with the policymakers. In 2021, the New Tech Plastic Initiative was launched with aim of helping to control the global plastic pollution. And I'm glad that I was invited to contribute to the New Tech Plastic Africa. So this initiative with the agency have 3 actions. The first action is implementation of activities for assessment and planning and establishing of pilot plans for plastic waste recycling. Action 2, marine microplastic monitoring and assessment, and I'm concerned by this action, marine microplastic monitoring and assessment. The third action will be New Tech Plastics outreach and partnership building. So the motivation is that we need to assess the impact of the microplastic on the marine spaces and filling gaps in the knowledge on solution to inform policies, providing training and capacity building to all the EAA member states. I'm a physical oceanographer, so as physical oceanographer, we deal with this big gyre in all the ocean. So the NITEC plastic is very global. It's in the 3 continents. But for Africa, we still at the stage 1, which is the scientific knowledge and method development, but all the initiatives have many stages that I will show you, but it will not concern all the part of our project now, RAPTEN in the division of Africa. So the stage 1, as I say, is the scientific knowledge and method development. Stage 2, transfer of knowledge, capacity building. Stage 3, establishment of a reference laboratory at the national, at the environmental laboratory in Monaco. And finally, building a network of laboratories. So to be short, so we have 15 normally a laboratory worldwide located in all 4 regions by 2026. This is the main objective. So now as a scientific knowledge and method development and monitoring plastic pollution, we are organizing with the support of the agency training in Tunisia. It will be held next 2 weeks in my laboratory to deal with the protocols and method to quantify and analyze microplastic in the sand beach and the surface water. So the deal is to harmonize methods and to provide standard protocols for the member states that can be used worldwide. So here are some of the materials that we need to assess and to these nuclear techniques that we apply to identify plastic in the sea and water. And we need FTIR and stereo microscope and some other methods from infrared techniques to characterize the polymers. So the stage 2, and we start this in Egypt meeting last year, harmonization of the protocols. And now we will validate this protocol with the training. Stage 3, it's more for the development of reference laboratory in Marine Environment Laboratory in Monaco. And the stage 4, as I say, is to build a network of laboratory at a global way. So now we have a total 68 labs, and we have 42 labs interested, and more. We have many labs here in Africa. So more than 14 African countries are in the NUTEC Africa division. So this is more technical. So for the global marine plastic monitoring network, we need some steps, and now we are at the lab steps in red. So to the characterization and the identification of the plastic from 5 millimeter to 0.2 millimeter. And the other steps are needs more other techniques and capacity. So here it's another step of when we could implement the data and the protocol at the laboratory, we could have the capacity to sedimentation capability and use to use some alpha analysis to conduct some quantification of the history of the plastic in the regions. This will be very support to regional support centers, and this is a very advanced steps of the project. Thank you for your attention, and thank you. I hope I was not so.
Thank you, Professor Sana, for this very, very interesting presentation. And as you said at the beginning, that in 2015 it will